Vag, vag, vag. What you gonna do when it's hot outside? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag. What you gonna do when the trains are down? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag.
All right, we're on. Hi, guys.
Okay. We did it.
Three broads making it work.
Three broads making it work. Do you want to introduce the guest?
Yes. Guys, let's hear it for the lovely Dina Hashem. How are you? Is it Dina? It's Dina, right? Like sometimes you say somebody's name forever and then you hear it pronounced on stage and then you're like, oh, shit.
I've been saying it wrong.
I'm not that attached to my identity, so you can call me whatever, but it is Dina technically.
Great. I'm the same way. People, with my last name, I'm like, whatever.
I feel like I always got your name right. It was always Tolamash, right?
Yeah.
I think I made it Italian. I would say Talamachi.
That works too. I don't mind.
And yours is Iapolucci, is that right?
I think so. I don't know. I've had a lot of real Italians tell me I'm not saying my name right. So I think it's Iapolucci because the I is like a Y, but I just say Apolucci.
Ah, okay.
That seems very Italian to like tell you how you should
to
really
say
be
your
saying
name.
your name.
Yeah, I've had a lot of real Italians tell me my name is not being pronounced correctly.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds about right.
Dina, we usually just shoot the shit. We have no plan. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's how I run my podcast as well. And I'm alone usually, so I don't have to ask anyone if that's okay.
Great. So what's your podcast and how do you do it alone?
Boy, I just record it I started out just recording it in my room as like a stream of consciousness thing. And then I got so sick of being in my room. So now I like go gonzo. I go walk outside while I'm recording it. But I've been having some guests on, but usually I'm just kind of like going off and just going off, you know.
Dina's going off. What are you
just doing whatever you want, girl. This is your year.
What are you going off of right now? I've been reading your tweets. I'm a big fan. I feel like I'm taking it that you feel like comedy is dead right now, right?
I guess you read my last tweet that I just sent out. Well, I don't know. I did it for the first time since core on Saturday outside, like live stand-up.
In Jersey or in New York? In
Jersey. And I felt nothing. Like I wasn't excited. I had like 3 cocktails because I was just like, none of this matters. And I was just really drunk on stage. I don't even know. I forgot.
Maybe it's because of that. Do you think it was because you had a couple of drinks, or you just think you feel nothing as a person anymore?
I already felt nothing when I got there. I wasn't like, oh wow, I'm gonna perform. I was just kind of like, what is this? It's like stepping into a past life, sort of.
I love that you said that because now I don't have to try doing it because I haven't even done it since March. And I felt like you're probably on stage the same as I am, and if that's how you felt, I don't have to do it. I'm just not gonna do stand up.
I just had that because everyone's like, you know, I finally felt right as soon as I was up on stage. And then my thought was like, yeah, you know,
you did it?
Cool. I did it. Yeah, I've done it a few times. I had my first bomb because beforehand there was like a low threshold because everyone's like, whatever, I don't know what we're doing out here, but we're making it work with no microphone in the park or that. And then I did a show on a rooftop in Brooklyn, almost like out near Rockaway Beach. Like at Broadway Junction, which was like, that's far. And I'm going out there for no money. And then I had to climb all the way up to a roof. And then I felt so bad because then all these people had to do the same thing to watch mediocre stand-up.
Yeah. I also thought it was going to be like low stakes, like the crowd will just be hyped. And they were not. And I also went up last after a really long show. So kind of like everybody was not really into it. So it wasn't even like a fun, triumphant, like, and then I forgot jokes. I think I was just like saying Trump is funnier than Stephen Colbert. I kind of just like was just doing whatever.
I mean, that is actually really funny.
Nobody cared.
It's not
Nobody
false.
cared? Yeah, that's not false.
Yeah, Trump is funnier than Colbert.
I mean, I keep thinking that I want to do stand-up, and then I'm like, do I really want to go outside? I think also I'm worried about doing it and then not it being great, and then just have wasted 16 years of my life.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody, I have this friend that's like a little bit older, and she just found out I do stand-up. And she basically was like, oh, what are you going to do? Like, what else are you going to do? I was like, no, I was actually doing stand-up for like a living. And she was like, oh. Like, she was just like, because I wake up late, she was like, oh, so like maybe you should just like kind of change your life. I was like,
You're like,
no.
what?
Yeah, I was like, I've been doing this for 16 years. Like, that's, no, why would I do that? But she just kind of poo-pooed it like it was not like a real career that I'd been working towards. And then when I said my mother did it, she was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, why is that cool? Why is it cool my mother's doing it? And I don't know, just weird. She was like, you get up at 12 o'clock? And I'm like, that's early for me.
The thing is, it's like kind of not respected as a form of entertainment or art or anything. So it's like on top of the pandemic ruining it, it's like also nobody really cares that it's gone. So
I know, it's like the one job that when you're like, so I'm getting unemployment, and then when you tell people that, they're like, why can't you just get another job? And you're like, my resume looks like I've been in a halfway house for 20 years.
You had a good idea. Remember you said we should just tell people we were one of R. Kelly's victims that he kept captive?
Oh, yeah. So then they feel bad for us.
Well, that's why we're like, we have a big chunk where we didn't work. We were
oh my god,
like,
I used to do a joke like that. Like, what do like kidnapping victims resume interviews go like? They're like, why is there this 3-year gap? You have to be like, I was trained in someone's basement. It's really weird.
I think it's a great idea.
So I'd be really good for this job because I know how to get out of bad situations.
I really don't expect much.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it has like, you're like, these shows aren't like this. They're not, they don't feel ideal. But then like part of me was like, Adrian and I talked about, we don't even feel like we missed stand up beforehand because there was so much that went into it with no pay.
Or little pay, or just like not great shows.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't good even before all of this, and now it's just like really obvious that it was a bad way to spend time. But I don't know. Do you still feel like you're gonna keep doing it? I mean, it will come back. Like they're already talking about a vaccine, which seems a lot sooner than I thought. So like it'll be okay.
I mean, I think I'm gonna have to go back. What else am I gonna do at this point?
Yeah.
I guess I could continue watching kids. It's just weird when you're like 40 years old watching children. That's, you know what I mean? And you were like born in this country. Everyone's like, what have you been doing?
You're like,
oh, well.
I feel like I don't know. Is there some other passion that you might want to pursue?
I think it's too late for that. This is it. Well, I'm just going to do comedy. I can't accrue any more debt.
I'd like it for our podcast to make more money so then we don't have to say yes to some of those bullshit gigs that you do. Like we talked about, like when you go to, let's say like deep in New Jersey to do a gig for about $500 overnight, where you're like, it sounds good, but when you think of all the travel that you go to get to it because you don't have a car, then you're like, it's really not great. I'd rather do spots in the city and make $250 than 500.
I did shows in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is probably one of the saddest places ever. And it was $500 for 2 shows, and you're staying in a hotel that's like off the highway. And it was the worst. The first night wasn't that bad because they were trying to get this woman elected as like mayor of the town or something. She just brought all her friends. And then the next night there was like 5 people there, and it was just, all of it was just so sad. And then I went back to my hotel room that was like 3 doors down from the conference room where the show was, and then you just hear the highway noise all night long. And you're like, this is terrible.
You're like, I made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like many years of making compromises with like the end goal being like it's going to be great at some point, but then a pandemic happens and it's unclear. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't really take into consideration that a pandemic would just happen.
I would
Yeah.
never think this would happen. I couldn't even think this was possible, to be honest.
I mean, I thought we were going to make it before a pandemic happened.
I think all of us were almost going to make it. That's what I'm just going to tell people when they're like, what
Yeah.
happened? I'll be like, I was going to make it right before a pandemic hit.
It's a great excuse.
Definitely. And then you can just say that you left while you were on top, but you guys had no idea that I was about to be on top.
Yeah, they're like, we're pretty sure you were on the bottom still.
Dina, what's the name of your podcast?
It's called Dead Quiet.
Oh, I like it.
I needed
That's a
to
great
reverse.
name.
I needed to reverse engineer it because I had this like little logo made when I was losing my mind. Like I'll make merch, and then I just had no reason. I had nothing to do with the image, so I was like the skull. So I'm like, okay, I need something dead in the name, and I'm quiet. So it was just it was dumb, but thank you.
No, I feel like
I like it.
that works for exactly who you are.
Cool. Yeah.
You're dark and then you deliver jokes quiet.
It's true. Yeah, I'm glad it works.
So what have you been doing during while we've been holed up? Do you have a new skill set?
Oh my God. I had big plans to like get really jacked, you know. I just always wanted to be like really ripped. I don't know why. But I got a new jump rope and I've been jump roping, but I also can't stop eating at night. So it's really impossible to get anywhere.
Are you living in New York City right now?
Near it, very, very near to it. But I just decided to sublet my room till the end of the year and just go stay at my mom's just to save on rent. Because I was only here to be close to the city, and now there doesn't seem like there will be a need to be until at least January, or I don't know. When do you think clubs are going to open?
2035.
It sounds like everyone thinks maybe like February 21. January
That's not too
21.
bad, actually. If I knew for sure that was the date, I would start working out and getting back in shape. If I knew that was the date.
I mean, I would love it if you came out of quarantine jacked.
I mean, I'm not going to be jacked. I'll leave that to Dina.
Can I
just want my jeans to fit.
I've seen a few people outside of quarantine, and there were some people that didn't get jacked for quarantine.
I think a lot of people are not getting jacked. I was wondering, Dina, if you were outside New York City where you have like more space, like in the Bronx, there's just no space here. I figured you were just jumping rope like on tons of acres of land.
I wish. No, I happen to have a very tiny rooftop area, so that's where I do it. But my room, it's been such a humiliating process trying to sublet my room. Like you see people walk in and just like be confused that someone lives here. Like there's a garbage bag electrical taped to the ceiling. And I'm like, this has always been about location for me. I don't spend a lot of time here. I didn't know a pandemic would happen. I was just here to sleep and then be outside. And then when you suddenly have to be surrounded by it, I'm like, as a realtor, I'm like, you're going to want to spend a lot of time in your head when you're here. That's what I do. I'm like kind of an artist. So just don't look at any of the walls. It's really embarrassing, but I finally found somebody, so I'm very excited.
Oh, it's awesome. So when are they going to take over? Did they already
Friday.
Is that the first? I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes some New York apartments are like, this is just really a place for you to get mail.
Yeah.
It's like a P.O. box you can live in. That's how it is.
My friend looked at an apartment where it's a 1-bedroom, but I guess the woman has converted into basically 2 bedrooms with no living room. And it's pretty expensive. And she also has to have her clothes in his closet. I was like, this seems weird. That's a lot of money for not really your own room.
Yeah, it's a real scam, and it sucks to like only have lived here for the location and now no one can go anywhere. It's really weird.
Oh yeah, so Adrian knows I've been on I'm on TikTok all the time, and sometimes there'll be like New York real estate agents trying to sell apartments, and one was like a closet in the West Village for $2,300. Like it was so tiny. Like the kitchen and the bedroom and the bathroom were all in the same room. And then people are like, is it crazy? But do I feel like this is a really good deal? And all I could think of was like, I was like, this is hilarious. How sad that New York is like, it's a really great deal to spend, I don't know, live in a 6 foot by 6 foot room that has your bathroom and kitchen in it for $2,300 a month during a quarantine or like, you know, a pandemic where you can't do that much.
I had a friend who lived in an apartment where her bathroom was outside in the hallway.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hilarious. And also her shower was in the kitchen. Such a bizarre setup.
But
And
a
it was
great
all
deal.
a great deal, but it also worked out that nobody else lived on that floor, so she wasn't sharing the bathroom. But like, what a weird thing to leave your apartment and go to a bathroom that might have somebody else in it.
Yeah, I'm like, just go live in a van. At least you can leave when you live in a van.
Yeah, I have my own bathroom, so that's the only highlight. That's really what the pitch is. It's like you're just
That's great if you have your own bathroom.
stay in the bathroom.
That's fun. You should do like a little video series of being like a real estate agent to your sad apartment where you try to like rebrand all the shitty things in it.
I should have been doing that. I really should have been recording coming in here. It was so embarrassing. It was just so shameful. But it had to be a student, of course, who ended up taking it. Like it always had to be just someone who doesn't mind, you know, a shitty place.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
Oh, no,
Adrian. Go ahead.
No, say what you're gonna say.
I was just gonna say, I remember when I had roommates, I remember his girlfriend would stay with us during the summer, and then she would come out of the bathroom and just be like, do you want me to call the landlord? Like your drain doesn't drain as much. Like I'm standing in like a foot of water in the bathtub. I'm like, yeah, that's just how it is. Like, like no, that's not what. Like he's not gonna fix that. Like you're just gonna have to accept that that's a thing that we do here.
I feel like that is also maybe unique to the comic mindset where we're just like have such low self-respect and like can adapt to any shitty situation. That's my theory.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, I just want my landlord here the least amount of time as possible.
My landlord had to put in a new oven. My oven just went, and like he came up here and he was like, yeah. It's like, I guess I'll get you a new oven. Like I had just broke it on purpose. And I was like, well, okay. But he was so mad at me. I was like, I don't know what you want from me. It's like a $300 stove.
We got locked inside our apartment like 2 weeks ago. I just went to try to walk outside, and I pulled the door open, and it wasn't opening. And I was like, did I forget? Does it go out? And then I tried pushing out. I'm like, no. And I tried every different combination of the locks, and the door was just totally like sealed. I thought maybe like martial law had taken place, and they were just like barricading people. I just couldn't get out. And even then, I was like, I really don't want to call my landlord.
Yeah.
So we had to call the landlord to pry us out of the apartment.
Did he say that
weird.
did the doors expand with the heat or something?
No, I don't know. It was just like the metal part that, you know, when you turn the knob, just stopped turning. So maybe like a screw fell out or something. So just the doorknob just didn't do anything. So he had to like pry us out and then switch the doorknob.
Was he thrilled to get your phone call? They always sound like they're so mad.
Our landlord has like had a lobotomy or something. He used to be such an asshole. And we thought for sure he wasn't going to let anybody get by without paying full rent. But then he was just like, it's a difficult time, I understand, which was weird. So maybe it did some good for him, the pandemic. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe somebody threatened him with the Me Too or something.
He did have his apartment broken into, probably by an angry tenant. So maybe that chilled him out.
Yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, that's always surprising. I know. I just was wondering, I'm like, I don't know what they're going to do because they're not, isn't this the last week, or last week was the last week for that $600 benefit that we were
Tomorrow's the
getting.
last day we'll get it. So then after that, it's just going to be regular unemployment. It's just interesting watching people on like Twitter freak out and then not freak out. It's just fascinating to watch people go like 2 weeks later from something they said, and like people are just kind of captioning all their things where they're catching them. Like, it's just interesting to me to watch that.
Well, Chuck Woolery got in trouble for doing that. Like, I think he was kind of like a conspiracy theorist that COVID wasn't an actual thing, and then his son got it and wasn't doing well, and then he just took himself off of Twitter.
That's hilarious. He just pressed a button and was off of social media.
Yeah, he's like, peace out. I fucked up.
It seems like those are the people that their family always gets it, the ones that doubt it.
Yeah. Well, there was that one guy, and this wasn't even untrue. Because you know how, like, a lot of things online, you spread the information, and then somebody's like, well, actually, this is why it's actually happening, and he's not a bad person. And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I feel like a dick for just spreading misinformation. But one guy was actually like, it was the stages of like not believing it and then getting it and then being like, no, guys, this is really serious. You should take, and then he just died. Did you see that one online?
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? It's just funny how we're like, did you see that one guy that died? And we're like, yeah, we all saw it.
It was pretty slow over time, and we all watched it in real time and did nothing.
And then we're all like, we're still not going to wear a mask though. But cool.
And then we're like, haha, that guy deserved, when like there's no like humanity about, even when somebody fucked up initially, we're not like, oh, that sucks that, he didn't take it seriously in the beginning, but instead that feeling of like, well, that's what you deserve.
Yeah.
Well, did you see like they brought baseball back, and that's probably going to get canceled again because 16 people on the Marlins had COVID and they knew about it and still played the other team.
What the fuck?
I don't know, but like people are pretty mad. Like they're going to get a talking to. So I'm pretty sure baseball is also going to get canceled again.
I like that they did that because like for a job like, like for us, when we get sick, we have to show up to our day job a lot of the times, even when you are sick, because you don't get sick pay, or maybe you used up all your sick pay for the year. But like those guys, there's a whole substitute. They can be substituted, right?
I don't even see the point of playing. They have nobody even in there's no one in the audience, but you can pay, I think, to get a cutout of you, like a cardboard cutout in the stands. So like they're selling seats like that where people are like, hey, look at my face right there behind home plate.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to get a cutout as well. Like,
I think it's like $80.
Yeah, for like printing up those cardboard checks, that costs a lot of money.
I don't know. So I think
I don't care about anything
for a
that much.
bit.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's going to be done for a bit.
Yeah. Dina, are you a sports fan?
No. I just finished watching The Last Dance, though.
Did you like it?
I just don't think he's that good of a basketball player. Like, I just don't get it. I'm kidding.
You should come in at a comic hang with that as a topic and see what happens to you.
Yeah. Felt bad for Scottie Pippen. That was my takeaway. I just felt like all Jordan had to do was say, I'm not playing unless you give him his money. But he didn't care. He even said in the doc that like Scottie was being selfish for demanding respect.
Weird.
Am I the only one that feels that way? I don't know. Scottie.
I watched a little bit, and it did sound like his contract, for some reason, he wasn't really, I don't know if I guess he just didn't know what his bargaining power was or something, that he just didn't get a good contract for himself.
I didn't watch it. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Is it the Jordan documentary?
Yeah. It's like
I was like, are they talking about Love and Basketball, that movie on TV?
No,
this doesn't sound like it.
It did sound, when people were tweeting about The Last Dance, I didn't know it was called that. I thought it was just the Michael Jordan doc, thought it was that Julia Stiles movie.
Me too. And I was like, that's an old movie.
Save the Last Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that guy didn't play much basketball on that show. I thought he was a pretty good dancer though. That's what I was gonna come back with.
You should have tweeted that with hashtag last dance.
Yeah, I had no idea what you guys were just talking about. I was like,
Speaking of Save the Last Dance, somebody online, people keep revisiting her dance because it was supposed to be like amazing for her to get accepted in that school. But as time has gone by and you watch it, it's like a dance that all three of us could learn in about 5 minutes there's no technicality with it. So it's really funny to like have a perspective to look at that scene and be like, how did she even get accepted to that school that way?
Like a TikTok dance.
Yeah.
let's see if we could learn it by the end of the pandemic. I'm gonna say it's gonna take me more than 5 minutes.
I think you could learn it. I would say that I could look up on my online to find it and share it with you guys, but I don't know if that's the kind of content our listeners want to hear, is me looking for a file.
What did we try doing the other time? Oh, playing Rescue Me.
Yeah.
That clip.
From the firefighter show?
Yeah, we were trying to show a clip from it. They were doing sensitivity training on being prejudiced, and the stuff that they said is not anything you could ever have on TV today.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
I wonder what TV is going to be like in 20 more years.
I mean, I don't watch it now. I feel like a lot of it is just not, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of, I feel like everything on that's good on Netflix is international now.
Or documentaries.
Yeah. But like scripted stuff these days.
Well, it's hard for it to be politically correct in every way.
Yeah.
So.
I was just trying to think of what show that I would consider politically incorrect that's on TV right now, but I can't think of one.
Probably anything Trump's involved in. He's very politically not correct. It's so weird we can't have TV shows like that are offensive, but he's the most offensive person.
Where was your show in New Jersey, Dina?
It was at a brewery called Corgi. It's like a really nice fancy brewery. They make their own liquor and everything, and they give us all free drinks, which is why I got bombed before going on stage.
Nice. Were there any comics there that you knew?
One good friend, Max Antonucci, another Matt Jenkins, and then I didn't really know the other ones. Oh, you know what? One guy who I only read, I don't even know if I should say.
Well, I can always black out his name or bleep it.
Okay. Do you know?
Yeah, I've seen his name on social media.
I have such a fun story about.
Okay. I'll black out his name, so if you guys want to talk about it, go for it. I'm just writing a timestamp.
I just only recognize his name from people on the internet being like, this guy's like a racist or whatever. And then, I don't know, I just saw him go up and he was just being like, just like talking like a black guy, even though he's not black. He's like 80 years old and like making fun of lesbians. I don't know, that seems to be his thing. But people laughed.
Well, it sounds funny. A guy named that's 80 that talks like a black guy. That's different. That's original.
He got me some show that was in Jersey. I want to say like 7 years ago. He got me a show on my birthday in Jersey. I had to pick him up in the city, and we drove to the gig, and it was terrible. It was like in a hotel, but like in their lobby to the side, kind of in a room, and there was TVs on, and it was just awful. We were there forever, and I'd say we were starting to head back about 11 o'clock at night, and they had food and stuff there. He goes, "Hey, I want to stop on at a Wendy's." And I was like, "Well, we didn't even see a Wendy's coming here." He's like, "Yeah, I just want to stop at Wendy's." And I was like, "Well, I'm not going to do that. You could have just gotten something to eat at that place." And it was like a whole fight the way back. And then he was mad at me, wouldn't talk to me. And he saw Fariaz, and he told Fariaz because of that I was bipolar. Because I didn't want to stop at a Wendy's. I go, "I'll stop at a gas station if you want like a bagel or something. You want something so specific?" It's not like a lot of Wendy's are even around. Yeah. It's just such a bizarre thing where he was mad. And I was like, it's also my birthday, and I kind of just want to go home. I'd worked all day. and then driven to the show in Jersey and bombed there. I was like, I just want to go home.
And then you have to drive around to find a Wendy's.
In like the suburbs of Jersey.
Not
I was like,
okay.
I know, but he was so mad the whole ride home. He was like, you don't respect your elders. It was just like, it was the weirdest ride home. And then he cornered Farias when he saw him and he was like, your friend's bipolar. I was like, I just didn't want to get you Wendy's. Like, I would have got you a bagel or something. But yeah, he just went on and on about, I didn't respect my elders and like, I guess elders in comedy. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not surprised based on his performance alone that this happened. I don't know, but he probably did the best on the show, which is the funniest part.
Which is why I probably should have been nicer to him.
It is funny
Respect your elders.
when guys like that, like kind of nobody cares for them in the actual like New York scene, and then when they're in their element, you're like they're crushing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, it's a good indicator to let you know that you're about to eat a huge.
Well, even the show that we did in Jersey, he did much better than me. So I guess he felt like he could order me around.
Well, I mean, Adrian, you're bipolar.
Well, I mean, what does he expect? I'm bipolar. I'm not gonna listen to him.
You had to get home. What, Dina?
And I was just saying that's a weird accusation, like she's a bitch or something. Like it's very specific.
Bipolar, yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
I wasn't even mean about it.
He probably just read about it and was like, that's going to be a fun one to throw around.
To the next person I disagree with. You're just like when you learn a new word, you're like, I can't wait to just use this on someone.
That just reminded me of something, and I want to share this with you guys because Dina, I'm sure you've gotten some weird stuff online because of your social media controversy last year with that joke. Are you still getting heat from that? Do you every now and then get somebody that DMs you with some hate?
Oh, that's like every day still. It's not what it used to be. It wasn't like, hundreds and hundreds every day. But now it's like twice a day.
I mean,
do you kind of miss it? I mean, honestly, when it started going down, which took a long time, it still took like 6 months to even start to go down. I was kind of like, I missed the attention a little bit, but
I don't think so.
I get it. Sometimes I'm like, when I'm on a flight or you're feeling low, you're like, it'd be really fun right now if I just send a really crazy tweet and then put my phone on airplane mode and then turn it back on when I land and then look at all the love I'm getting.
That is fun.
Also, it was such a funny joke and it wasn't even offensive. So I don't even know why people were upset.
I think it's just specific to that particular guy. He just sort of became a cult figure. And I mean, just last night, I usually don't get heated up about the messages anymore. Only certain types of messages really get under my skin. It's usually from Arab or Muslim men. It's not even about that. But this guy yesterday just did a backhanded, I just hope you're really doing well after all of that. And I hope you learned your lesson. That type of message.
Learned your lesson?
I hope you learn not to do that again after, getting dogs.
Doesn't it make you want to write back and say, I can't wait for the next person to die so I can tweet something out?
Well, I messaged back, I don't know. I just said, why are you being condescending to someone? Did you message anyone saying what they did to me was wrong? But you just chose to message me saying I shouldn't have made a joke from a year ago. And then I don't even remember. I had to block him because I was getting so furious.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those are the worst when they're disguised under the feeling of a compliment or coming from a nice place. And then you read it and you're like, no, this guy's trying to hurt me, but doing it in a way that's he knows what he's doing when he says shit like that, I think.
But also the saddest thing about it is I hope other rappers learn lessons like that, but they don't. They're still telling people that they have all this cash on them.
Yeah. It's dangerous to carry that much cash on you.
It is, and to also talk about it so much it's just Dina, I don't know if yours was the lesson to be learned.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, do you think rappers also carry around their expensive laptop all day with them to write down their raps? Because that's another thing that could be taken away from them as well.
There's a lot of stuff I should have joked about. I should have included all the things that rappers shouldn't carry on them.
I mean, do you do that joke in your sets still?
No, I do jokes about the backlash, but I don't
The
do
back-
the actual joke. Yeah.
Oh, because that joke was really good. That I feel like if you just didn't do it on TV, it should be okay.
I mean, that was the whole problem. Like, there was never a problem until it went on the internet. Even if Comedy Central just put it on the show and not put it online, it would have been fine. It just
Yeah.
And they wrote that rapper's name in the copy. It's just like just so
Well, also though, Comedy Central thought it was a really good joke. That's why they did it like that.
I mean, it's yeah, but like something with the copy made it seem extra like mocking. I feel I forget what it was they wrote, but like
kind of they knew what they were doing a little bit. Do you think?
I don't know. It was definitely a young like person who posted that. Like people who have those social media jobs or like hip. Like I didn't even know who that artist was. I knew nothing about him except the way he died. I feel like whoever posted it must have known it would have been like controversial, you know? Like I didn't even know about that aspect of it.
Yeah, but just know that Comedy Central fucks up a lot, like just on clerical things, like on album covers, even administration. The year that I did Adam Devine's house party,
Oh, this is my favorite story.
I guess there's another Josh Johnson and they got the wrong Josh Johnson and they didn't know until he came onto the island that you're like, how the fuck does that happen at that level? That's like something I would do because I just don't read emails all the way through.
It's just funny.
Shocking.
Also, that guy Josh Johnson that I guess got to get on Adam Devine was probably like, this is amazing.
Yeah. And then
We just got
like,
this opportunity based off of another comic's name and talent.
that's yeah.
But
You
they
should
let
call your what?
They
Sorry.
also fucked up. Remember when Ari had his special, they bought it and he didn't bleep that name out, and neither did they, and then that girl went nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's so crazy to not think. We bleep out names all the time on our podcasts, like a full name, just because you don't want to have that person deal with anything. Like just on a private person, more like, I mean, we don't bleep out like celebrity names because there's no point to that because they live a public life. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that was crazy that they didn't even bleep out for Ari's special. But it just shows you, like, even at that level,
I don't
they
think
could
that
be
they
pretty
even
careless.
watched it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think they even watched it, to be honest.
It's like how I edit our podcast. I just clip the ends off and then just send it. I'm like, whatever.
Cross your fingers. You're just like, I hope this is good.
All right, well, let me share what I got online tonight or this weekend. This was like a technique that I thought was pretty sly and I fell for it and I felt really stupid. So I got a DM in Instagram from what looked like a girl named Ashley. And she's like, can I ask you a question? And automatically, like, I hate when somebody preference. I'm just like, just ask the question. But I was like, so I just said, sure. Cause I was like, either she's about to pick up or ask me about something in my personal life or tell me something that might rock my world. Kind of like, oh, Joe's been cheating on you. So, you know, that's what I was expecting from that kind of message. So I was like, sure. So is it kind of engaging? Then she's like, I'm just in a really dark place right now. And then the next question was like, what do you think about a 43-year-old dating a 21-year-old? And I go, I mean, it's a little weird, but you know, you never know. It's different from thing to thing. And then she was like, my girlfriend's 43 and I'm 21. And then she posts a photo. And then I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, I thought you were talking about a guy. I was like, I don't know the dynamics in lesbian relationships, what the power play is in that age. Then she goes,
who is this girl?
I don't know. At first I was like, maybe this person's got mental issues and she, every now and then I talk about depression. Maybe she's just like asking, and I shouldn't even engage on that, but I was just being like friendly. So then it goes from there. she goes, have you ever dated a girl before? And I go, no. And then that's where it starts to be like, all right, where is this going? And then she's like, have you ever dated a black guy? And then I even answered that one. I was like, no, I've only mainly dated white guys and then one Hispanic dude. And then she goes, can I show you a photo from my coworker? I think it's really funny. And then then before she sent it, she goes, do you like to suck cock? And then I go, okay, I think you've crossed a boundary, so I'm going to exit this conversation. And then she sent me a dick pic of a guy's penis.
That's a lot of conversation to just get you to see a guy's penis. What a weird and twisted way. That's like eight like reactions just to show you a guy's dick.
Yeah, this was all while I was on the subway coming home. So I'd like to pretend that it was because I was just bored and looking at social media. But I told Joan, he was like, yeah, you just want to be just go do the sexual harassment at the beginning. I wasted like 8 minutes in this dialogue. But I have to say that was a very smart way to engage a person by starting it off with like those questions. It just took a weird turn.
I thought when she asked if you ever dated a woman and then asked if you ever dated a black guy, whoever this person was just going to call you like a racist.
Well, I was worried.
Homophobic person. That's what I thought it was going with.
Yeah. Like when she started asking those questions, I was like, okay, be prepared. Answer these. Not that I'm doing racial slurs and DMs, but I'm just like, make sure however you answer is very like broad and never like putting you in a, I don't know, in a corner or something that would look bad. So I just answered it very yes or no.
You should have been like, I only fuck children. And left it at that. But what a bizarre way to get you to see a dick.
Do you think it was a guy secretly, like pretending to be a woman?
I think so. But you know what's weird? Around the dick, it was shaved that it looked like a dick connected to a vagina. But it wasn't a strap on. But it was just because they shaved everywhere.
It would have been good if you sent back your own dick pic.
I don't know.
Was it a white guy or a black guy, I guess?
It was a black guy.
So
at least the dick.
Asked.
The dick was black. I don't know. Ashley was white. It was very confusing.
What a bizarre world we're living in.
Pandemic?
Excuse me?
Was this recent, like during the pandemic?
It was on, it happened Friday
I think
night.
people are getting bored. They're finding new ways to troll people.
I thought it was quite clever on how it engaged me at first. Like, I was like, oh, you, fuck. I can't believe I just fell for a dick pic that took 8 minutes to get. It was like a long scavenger hunt with a penis at the end.
That's great.
But I deleted it. I should have just kept it and screenshotted it and then shared it with the world.
I haven't gotten that. I've gotten, it's like a picture of a guy who won the lottery. It's clearly like not him. And he's like, I want to give you $15,000. And then you just go back and forth with him and you're like, well, I also won the lottery and I'd like to give you $15,000. And then the guy's like, just send me your account information. Like, so I haven't gotten the dick pic out of it though. I just got that.
I don't get dick pics. Do you get dick pics, Dina?
No, I get people asking for photos of weird parts of my body, and I'm getting it. Like, there's one guy who keeps asking how much money for a booty pic, and I just every time I answer, like $3,000 or something like that. But they won't stop, and I'm wondering, like, if somebody
just send J-Lo's ass.
What? Oh yeah.
Just send a picture of J-Lo's ass.
For like butt pics and feet pics, I'm like, can I just send like a stock photo and just get paid? Does that work?
Yes. Do it.
Yeah. But how do you trust that transaction? There's not a website where that goes like the picture and the money. You're like
have to go at the same time.
Yeah. In order for you guys to unlock, you have to put in a code. So the transaction happens at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to send you money because he doesn't believe yet or that you're going to send your feet or your butt. But you're not going to do it until you get the money into your account.
Yeah,
so
I had a bit like that too, where it would just have to be like, oh fuck, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Maybe it's that guy.
How do I stop it? Can you hear that? Do you hear the ringing?
I
Yeah.
hear the ringing, yeah.
Okay. Where did Zoom go? Sorry. And I had to
No,
be like,
sorry.
okay, I'll send you one foot now, and then the other when I get money. So maybe, or maybe a toe. Here's a toe. I don't know. But
Does it have to be attached to your body?
the foot?
Yeah.
Maybe a severed foot. Yeah, I don't know.
That's so weird. Would you? I guess now you're just like, well, come back in a month when I run out of my employee benefits. Maybe
Yeah, when
I'll think
PUA
about
is running
this.
out.
Yeah.
He'll be around. I'm sure he DMs me every day. It's very strange.
That is weird.
Seems like you have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's my boyfriend in disguise, seeing if I'll give in and send a butt pic.
Ooh, that could be it. I still love this guy that went through making up a fake lesbian relationship to just send Sarah a picture of his dick.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
The
I
long
would be so embarrassed if it was Joe the whole time and then he found out that I'm just giving out so much information.
I
through
do like that
DMs.
you told this person they were crossing a boundary.
Well, as soon as they were like, do you like to suck cock? I was like, this doesn't seem like a normal conversation from an actual woman. Like,
Yeah.
what would if she was actually a lesbian
Funny that you said
21-year-old?
that.
What?
No, we crossed over. It was breaking up. You can go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that why would a 21-year-old lesbian want to know if I suck cock?
Well, she probably wants to know if you enjoyed it, hoping you'd say no, and then she'd be like, well, come play on my team. I think that's what she's probably going to do.
Oh, but then when she found out that I didn't answer the question, then she sent me a black penis like this. What about this one?
And you were like, no, what else you got? And then she's going to send you a pussy and you're going to be like, I'm in.
Cool. No, I know. I never think about how long I can keep this going.
Did you end up blocking that person? Because we don't know if it was a girl or a guy.
Yeah, I blocked him.
I hope they come back with another face. I've just had people ask me about doing comedy, which I think is weird during a pandemic that people want to start doing comedy.
Yeah, I've had that.
It's like where you see how this is not great for really anyone, and this is the time where you're like, I really want to do this.
Yeah.
And you're like, why?
I had
What about this?
Sorry.
No, just say, what about this makes you think that you're going to earn money anytime soon?
I had a really dark DM like at the beginning of the pandemic when this guy, he was like a nice fan, like a very support, like during the whole X thing, he was like, I watched him like trolling my trolls for me, just like a nice person. And he DM'd me being like, I have really shitty health. I don't think I'm going to survive the pandemic. And I was just wondering if you think I should try stand up before I die. Like, oh my God. Yeah.
Did you say yeah?
If that's what he really wants to do, I don't know.
It'd be terrible if he's like dying from God knows something else, and then he also catches COVID because you told him he should try stand up and he gets it. And then he's just mad at you.
You're right. I should delete those messages. I don't want to be complicit.
Yeah, that's so funny to be like, I'm not in the best of health. Should I do stand up? And you're like, absolutely. Get in there.
It could only help. It could only help things.
I mean, you never know. It could be a good angle for industry if you're sick.
Totally.
Well, I think they already gave that one guy a special that said he had cancer, and then everyone was mad he didn't die. What a weird way that is. Like, I don't know what was going on with that, but to just have cancer, not die from it, and be excited, and then see all these people who are upset you didn't die. That's gotta really be upsetting to you as a person, where you're like, wow, everyone was kind of hoping I died after this.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah.
I remember that. Comics were really pissed about that.
I don't even remember his name. Oh, I think I now I remember. It was Quincy,
I remember
right?
Yeah, but that wasn't his real name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think he just tweeted recently that he's cancer free.
Yeah, I think he's been cancer free for a while though, and nobody cared.
Yeah.
What he would probably need to do is get cancer again for people to be
For the
sympathetic again.
Yeah.
To
No
get
one
another-
cares if you're doing well.
Especially comics. Comics want nothing more than for you to be doing terrible.
I think that's why a lot of us were really happy during quarantine because we're like, cool. No one's doing
Nobody's.
great.
But then, you know, I've even seen, I forget who said this, but they were like, what I liked during quarantine is like nobody was doing stuff. And we talked about this too. So you didn't feel like you were kind of like not doing as well as other people who were like getting spots or doing late night or doing specials. So you didn't feel like bad about yourself. And then people were still doing it. And you're like, oh, I'm going to go back to feeling bad about myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like these outdoor shows now. I'm totally against them. Now that I found out I don't like them personally, I don't think anybody should be doing them. We should all be on the same level.
Probably only have like another month or two of them before it gets cold. Maybe 3 months tops.
Yeah. And then we can go back to being happy again. I mean, I have to tell you, it took me forever to get to that tiny cupboard gig near the Broadway Junction stop that I was like, what am I doing?
At any point, did you just think of turning back?
Yeah, because I guess I didn't really look at the direction. When you say Brooklyn show, I think of Bushwick at the most or Crown Heights at the most. I never think, oh, I'm on my way to Rockaway or Canarsie or whatever. And so once I realized that, I was like, what am I doing? And then after I didn't really have a great set, that I was like, oh, this just made me, I went all the way out here and this made me feel worse. The only thing that redeemed is that Karen Fion, is that how you say her last name?
Behan, yeah.
Fion, yeah. Got a car to go to the stand and then I joined her. So I saved
Ooh.
money and time to get back to, at least I could take the train from Union and then hang out with a friend.
That's nice.
Well,
Thanks, Dina.
I like
it
that
was
you found
nice.
something positive out of it.
Yeah, I saw, well, I went to the stand and they had a decent setup for it, but then they won't book me. But I think if you can kind of hang out, they might put you on.
So now we're back to being like new comics where you're just hanging out for possible stage time. Cool. Cool. I'll go do that during a pandemic. Go hang out and chill and hope to get a word in with the booker. So then we'll hopefully maybe book me on this show outside. That sounds even worse. I'd rather do the show Dina did.
No, I know. No, I would have to say though, I did QED again this Friday and it was great. So I think
heard
I want to just
QED 's
stick to my
fun.
neighborhood. Yeah. Well,
Just
they
stick to your
kept it.
neighborhood.
Yeah, it's just like their backyard. They set it up nicely. We each get our own mic. And then there was like enough people and it was social distance, but small enough that you felt like it wasn't weird. Because the rooftop one, everyone was too spread out that you couldn't even engage. And then here's the thing that annoyed me. They didn't offer a mic cover nor free mic or like a fresh mic
Individual
for
mics.
comics. So then we're all like elbow or fisting each other or fist bumping.
That'd been funny if you had to fist each other when you got on stage. You're like, this show is taking a dark turn, but I'm into it.
Where I'm like, oh, well, it doesn't matter if we're doing precautions like this and then we're all resting the mic on our chins like this, then like, what are we doing?
It would have been great if you guys didn't want to share mics, but were just fisting each other. I would have loved that.
Honestly, I think the crowd would have preferred it if we were just fisting each other.
Yeah, I mean, there's shows at Pelham Bay Park that I know Stand Up New York's doing where there's no mic. So I guess that's kind of a better way of just like going on. There's no stage either. So you basically just look like you're having a class where you're just teaching a bunch of people.
I wear togas when I do it. So I look like a Greek philosopher.
Yes.
So crazy. That one feels weird. That one's not as bad. I put that as like QED's the best. Park one was second. And then like everything else has been a distant third.
Yeah. And also I feel like at Central Park where you're just kind of standing up in front of people, even if you're doing bad, you could just kind of run away. show because it's just there's no stage or anything. You can just start running and be like, well, I think that comic's done, so we're just gonna bring up the next person.
I've fantasized about doing that during almost every set of my life, just stopping and leaving.
And
Oh
just
my God,
running.
I used to always think, like, when I first started doing sets at the Cellar, and like before I kind of got into a groove there, I remember one time I bombed so bad where I just wanted like a button where the floor would open and you'd be out on the street like that. I just was like, there should be like a button to just go out.
Yeah.
I just have to pass these people on the way out, which is always the worst for me. Or like, you ever do bad at a show and then you go to the bathroom and someone from the audience is there?
Yes.
And you're like,
I've changed my makeup and hairstyle in the bathroom and then left so
that's
people
smart. That's very smart.
Do you sometimes when I bomb, I pretend when I leave the stage, I just look at my notes as if like I'm like this was all a process. So I know that it's like I'm like this. Yeah, no, I would change that part.
That's funny.
That's crazy. Well, guys, I gotta head out.
Are you doing another show?
No, I told Joe I was gonna head into the city and then hang out. So we're just gonna run around.
FaceTime?
Put in some FaceTime at the stand.
Do you guys have any shows tonight?
No, but you know, I had 2 shows Saturday, so it felt like I was running spots again.
Nice.
But cool. I don't tape anything, so it's not like because I'm like, because you know what I mean? Like everything's brand new or like empty premises or half premises where you're like, I don't even feel like I should be taping any of it.
You never know. You might be able to get like something to put on the gram.
That's true. Dina, what do you have shows coming up? Or are you doing the road anytime soon?
No. No.
Will you put up a video of you using your jump rope?
I've taken videos of myself doing jump rope, and the last time I posted one, it was just creeps commenting about my ass. I'm like, maybe I should.
Oh, geez.
More, but maybe
Dina,
I will.
you need to embrace your fans, your ass fans, because they're really gonna boost you. Like that's what you have to do in stand up now is embrace the people that love your ass.
It's true. It's the new method. If you want to get anywhere, just post your ass and it'll do wonders for you.
Yeah. If that's anything anyone's learned, more butt pics on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I might do it to push my album.
I think that's a smart idea. I support that.
I'll ask Karen if I can put her ass on my feed with my album name on top of it.
That's a good idea.
Or just have a photo of an ass and play the audio of your joke over it, I think.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Dina, that was really smart. I like that. I think I will do that.
Yeah.
I appreciate the feedback. Where can we find you? I know where we can find you on Instagram and
Twitter and IG at Dina Hashem _.
For both?
Yeah.
Great. Adrian, where are you at? What's going on with you?
Instagram, Twitter. I think I'm done posting anything now. I don't care anymore. It's just like unless you're fighting with people don't really care.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take Dina's advice and take a picture of Karen's ass and put it on my feed.
Yeah. She'll help all of that's how she's gonna lift women. Because right now, can I just bring this up before I go? What is this accept challenge thing where you put a selfie of yourself in black and white? Like I had a friend do it and I don't want to shit on them about it because it's a nice gesture, but I just feel like guys aren't doing this and it feels stupid to me. Do you guys feel the same way?
You're racist.
No, it's a feminist thing. It's not a black and white. I know, but at first I was like, I don't even know what this is. Like you could be doing that and then the next thing you know, you're promoting like.
You're one great picture away from loving this. That's what true. I say.
But wait, the mentality behind it, like how does it help anybody? It just feels like a silly thing that we're doing.
I wasn't sure what the point is. Like, are you supposed to not wear makeup? It just said black and white, so I don't know what that means. Is it to be like I'm brave for not wearing makeup? Or it didn't say that though. It just said black and white, so I don't know.
No, all you do is you put a photo of yourself in black and white, and then you tag the person that gave you the challenge, and then you challenge your other girlfriends to do it. And
I
it's
think I'm
called,
Sorry.
I don't know what it is for. I looked it up online and they were like, it's for women empowering women. And I'm like, but how does that do anything?
I'm just gonna do the same challenge, but I'm gonna call it black and blue and put pictures of bruises all over myself up and tag other women in it to do the same. Sarah, I'll tag you in it.
Thank you.
And Dina, you too, both of you.
Are you guys going to do it? I feel social pressure, but I also feel really stupid about it.
No one's tagged me in anything, and please don't tag me.
I'm gonna challenge you.
Well, then I'm gonna put a picture up of me being black and blue. Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. All right.
I think you should do what makes you feel empowered. And if you don't want to do it, don't do it.
All right. It doesn't make me feel empowered. Is that bad? That's
no,
fine.
I don't think pictures are supposed to make you feel empowered. I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you.
Whatever you want me to tell you, I'll tell you.
No, just tell me you don't have to do it.
You definitely don't have to do it.
Thank you. All right. Well, this was fun. I'm going to end it.
Thanks, Dina.